This is a particularly nice stretch for fishing the duo. There's a good change of level here between where I'm fishing and above, so there's a really fast tongue of water coming right down the centre. So I'm just going to explore, before I go out any further, I'm going to explore virtually straight in front of me and then go a little bit further upstream and further out. I've got a willow behind me which I'm just going to have to watch on my back cast, and it's the wrong bank for me, so I'm going to have to come off my wrong shoulder, which I don't mind at all. So I've got a small nymph suspended about 2.5 to 3 feet below me clink, and so it's now a question of literally working the water, keeping my eye on the clink hammer. The fish may come and take that, or indeed it might take the small nymph. I can let it trundle right down there. As long as it's drifting drag free, I can let it run. No harm in doing that, and it lines it up for the next delivery. Now, one word of advice about the nymph you choose for the point position, if you want to call it point position. Remember that if you go sticking on something that's as heavy as a check nymph that plummets down through a water column, it's going to pull your indicator fly down. So you've got to judge the weight to a nicety. You want it to get down, but not to the extent that it's actually going to sink your clink hammer or whatever other indicator fly you use. So, I mean, I know that sounds incredibly obvious and really stupid to labour the point, but I have known people who have put great big weighted nymphs underneath a clink and said, "Well, my fly keeps going under." Well, of course it does. That thing you've stuck on the end is enough to sink a pocket battleship. So I can let it come past me. The water's nice and beery, and I haven't really skylined myself. And when you get a take on the nymph, the indicator fly goes under in quite an animated form. It doesn't sort of slowly drag under. It fair whistles under. You'll also get situations where your nymph brushes past a stone or clicks on a bit of moss, and it will pull it under. You have got to treat everything as a take, even if it's not animated. Don't think it won't be a fish, because it just may be a fish. So you really have to lift into anything. Don't think that would have taken, but it did stab under. And if the water gets that boisterous that your clink hammer's getting blown about all over the place and getting sort of current drowned by undertows, then you have to put a much bigger one on. In fact, this water now where I am would quite easily stand a bigger clink hammer. Not from the point of view of supporting the nymph, but from the point of view of making your double whammy better. Because, you know, in rough water like this, you've got to think of it in terms of, there's a fish. And that was the clink went under, and there's a brownie on. It's not a big fish, but a fish for all that. In fact, it's not but a sprat. But that just shows you how effective it can be. Little wild wharf brownie, slip him in. And the other nice thing about it is a quick blow of the wing, pull some line off, over we go. Now that was a fish that didn't want to rise through the water column, but was quite eager to take the nymph. That one took the nymph. Probably difficult to see the actual wing of the clink in this water, but I saw it just wink out of sight. It just stabbed under, and my little brownie was on. You've got to be fairly accurate now, because a foot too far over brings me down this fast chute. So I want to stay right in the soft. And as long as nobody's been up the side, or a Labrador hasn't been swimming in it, you can fish right in. There's a fish. Another sprat. Where's all the good fish? The nice thing to see, actually, again, it's taking the little nymph at point. The nice thing to see is so many wildies turning up. Look at that little dark wild brownie. That's perfect. That'll make a nice fish, will that, in a few years' time. Go on, baby. Away you go.